One man is dead and another is facing murder charges following a shooting in Brooklyn Park Saturday night. The shooting happened at a home in the 8400 block of Adair Avenue North at about 6:30 Saturday. As officers arrived, police described a chaotic scene where a family gathering was taking place. Officers found one person with multiple gunshot wounds. The victim, identified as a 34-year-old man from Coon Rapids, later died at the hospital. A suspect, a 32-year-old man from Brooklyn Park, was arrested. Police say the suspect and the victim were relatives. Murder charges were pending in the case as we went to air Monday afternoon. Minnesota's nonprofits are struggling with financial stability. That's according to a new report out this month on the current condition of the state's nonprofit sector.
The cost of living has continued to go up, and so that is impacting everyone in terms of needing support from nonprofits, but also impacting nonprofits in terms of the cost of running organizations has gone up too.
According to the Minnesota Council of Nonprofits, expenses are rising, donations have been stagnant, and COVID relief funding is drying up. Leadership at the New Hope-based food bank, the Food Group, say donations remain strong. However, corporate and organizational grants have become more competitive in recent years.
Just knowing there's a lot of competition, a lot of great organizations doing great work, but that the existing funders, I think, on the grant side of the work are getting a lot of requests for that funding.
Back in March, the Food Group merged with another nonprofit organization, Hunger Solutions Minnesota. They say that merger should help when it comes to advocating for public policy at the state and federal levels. This month is Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month, and we're spotlighting a remarkable recovery close to home. I take you to Courage Kenny in Golden Valley for a story of perseverance. There's nothing like the bond between a girl and her horse.
I just love them. I love everything about them.
Jen Kelly can attest to that, with a lifelong passion that started in her childhood.
Every Saturday morning I took a riding lesson and I went on a trail ride, and that was the absolute high point of my week every week.
But one day in 2020, when horseback riding, the horse got spooked and Jen fell.
What I knew is that I couldn't move my arms or legs, but what I didn't know at that moment is that I had fractured 3 vertebrae in my neck and crushed my spinal cord.
Jen was rushed to the hospital and had work scheduled right away. There, she learned she was paralyzed, neck down.
My questions, of course, were two. First, when can I ride again? And the second one was, will I walk again? And those were undetermined for a while.
She went into her long recovery armed with optimism.
So we'll see if kind of doing both sides that helps a little bit more.
She said that and her loved ones and care team kept her going.
It was really important to me to be a good steward of their care and support.
And again, contract.
Jen began working with Dr. Mandy Durazmi at Courage Kenny Rehabilitation Institute in Golden Valley.
She's put a tremendous amount of work in, both physical, mental, emotional, and leg work.
She underwent therapies in and out of the institute, and after years of hard work, she was walking again.
Hers has been exceptional. I have many patients who aren't able to walk again. So the fact that she's been able to progress so well has been wonderful to be a part of and watch.
Okay.
But also a little unusual.
Here we are, walking down the hall.
And getting back to what she loves most, including riding her horse.
This journey has been a culmination of hundreds of yay moments along the way, and so each one of those has been a milestone for me.
There's still milestones ahead, but for Jen, every step is everything. Jen says she's thrilled to be out in the community and caring for her horses and her recovery. Now to a day Brooklyn Center firefighters have been waiting a long time for.
So the fire department is part of the community. Our people are from the community. We protect the community, and there's a lot of history in 75 years with the fire department.
Chief Todd Berg and the Brooklyn Center Fire Department celebrated 75 years of history on Saturday. Brooklyn Center originally received fire service from Minneapolis until 1949, when community leaders decided to create their own fire department. Today it has 5 full-time staff, as well as 24 paid on-call firefighters. And the city is always looking for additional help. To be a Brooklyn Center firefighter, you must live within 8 minutes of either of the city's 2 fire stations. One of the perks of the job, eligibility for a pension after 7 years of service. The latest restaurant to announce plans for Maple Grove has set an opening date. Grackle announced it will open on Friday, October 18th. It's taking the spot of the former Wahlburgers at the corner of Elm Creek Boulevard and Hemlock Lane. The family-owned business describes itself as a scratch kitchen and craft cocktail bar, featuring an elevated yet approachable vibe. Peak apple picking season has arrived. You can get a taste at local farmers markets.
It's just good to have apples in the fridge. They're so good for you and they taste good, and there's nothing like Minnesota apples. You can get apples at the store, but there's nothing like the Minnesota ones.
CCX News visited the Maple Grove Farmers Market. That's where Ron Szymanski brings his apples from his farm in Silver Lake. He's done so for the last 20 years, since the Maple Grove Farmers Market began. Ron and his wife Mitzi take pride in growing more than 20 varieties of apples.
Customer turnout here is just fantastic, and they give us plenty of space to, expand our market.
We both really believe the same way. We're both Christians. We're both apple lovers. We both like to work hard.
Szymanski says all of the summer rainfall made a couple apple varieties grow particularly well, the Honey Crisp and Ginger Gold. The Maple Grove Farmers Market takes place every Thursday afternoon through mid-October. You can find it this year in the parking lot at the Church of the Open Door.
We are already halfway through the regular season in high school football. Coming off a road win against defending state Class 6A champion Centennial, the second-ranked Maple Grove Crimson came home and got the job done again in Week 4.
8th ranked and 2-1 Anoka coming to Maple Grove Friday to face the unbeaten Crimson. First quarter, Maple Grove running back Chuck Lungama gets to the outside in a hurry and wins a foot race to the end zone for his second touchdown of the night. A 29-yard score, and it's 14-0. Next series for Anoka, and on 4th and 5, Crimson linebacker Jacob Rabanik gets to the quarterback, sacking Peyton Padanian, forcing a turnover on downs. The Crimson then attack on offense. Caden Harney goes deep on first down and finds Dylan Volkel open for a 45-yard gain down to the Anoka 6. Harney would score on a 3-yard run 2 plays later. Maple Grove up big 21-0 after a quarter. Second quarter, Crimson linebacker Bo Thien picks off Padani and goes in uncontested for a pick 6. The touchdown makes it 28-0, one of 2 interceptions for the junior linebacker. Patrick Wright scored twice for the Crimson on the night. This 3-yard run extends Maple Grove's lead to 34-0. Lungama didn't even play in the second half, but didn't need to. Check out this move at the line of scrimmage. He finds a lane, and then he's gone. A 73-yard touchdown run gives the senior 165 yards and 3 TDs on just 10 carries. Maple Grove leads 48-0 at halftime on the way to a 55-14 win to improve to 4-0 on the season.
After starting the season with a big win over Lakeville South, the Wayzata football team had dropped 2 in a row. The Trojans were looking to bounce back against Edina in their homecoming game. Chaz Moots has the highlights.
Edina also hoping to bounce back. They lost to Minnetonka last week. The Trojans beat the Hornets last year by 3. Edina already up 7-0 in the first quarter. They get tricky on their second drive of the game. Toss back to Mason West after a handoff and reverse. Meyer Sweeney is left all alone. 53-yard touchdown for the Hornets. They're up 13-0. Trojans answered back on the ensuing drive. Oscar Shope takes a shot downfield. A great catch made by Sam Boo. Defender was draped all over him. Didn't matter. Wayzata cuts the deficit in half. Second quarter, after a 30 Edina score, the Hornets get another here. It's West back at the end zone. Toe tap touchdown for Sweeney. He ended the night with 3 touchdowns, 11 catches, and 167 yards. Trojans answered back before halftime. It's Shope again dropping back and finding Bodie Gorger streaking down the seam. Wayzata trailed at halftime 34-14. Start of the third quarter, the Edina offense kept rolling. West went 22 of 23 for 301 yards and 5 touchdowns. This one was completed to Jabari Stratter. Wayzata falls to Edina 48-21. In Plymouth, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
After breaking a 29-game losing streak in Game 3, the Hopkins football team hoped to start a winning streak as they met Burnsville. Jay Wilcox has highlights.
The Burnsville Blaze hosting Hopkins in prep football. With Burnsville up 6-0, the Dylan Caspers pass is picked off by Ben Watson. He has smooth sailing to the end zone, and Burnsville takes a 14-0 lead in the second quarter. In the final seconds of the second, Trey Moore rolls right and finds Edward Walker in the back of the end zone as Hopkins pulls within 14-7 at the half. Second half, and Trey Moore on play action scrambles and finds Jaden Moore open in the end zone as the Royals tie the game up at 14-14. To the fourth quarter, and it's Moore to Moore again. Over the top to Jaden, and he is gone. It's a 75-yard touchdown play in all, and Hopkins surges into the lead for the first time at 22-14. After Burnsville ties it with a kickoff return touchdown, Desmond Moody scores with 7 seconds left to give Hopkins a 28-22 lead. They add a defensive score as Hopkins wins its second straight. 34-22 Royals is the final. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.